Dear students, today we will discuss the principles of social work. The social work profession is guided by a distinct set of abstract values and a code of ethics. These values are transformed into accepted practice principles for the purpose of informing and performing our intervention for the welfare of the clients. Out of 8 social work principles, we will discuss first of all the principle of acceptance. Acceptance is a fundamental social work principle that implies a serious understanding of clients. This principle holds that the professional social worker accepts the client where the client is. Social workers who accept clients treat them humanly and considerately and afford them dignity and worth. Social workers convey acceptance by taking genuine concern, listening receptively, acknowledging others' point of view, and creating a climate of mutual respect. Acceptance implies that social workers understand clients' perspective and welcome and invite their views and opinions. To accept means to say yes to an invitation. In social work situation, a client invites a worker into his life, into his problem, into his emotional, stressful state, and into his personal affairs. The principle of acceptance says that the worker shows his or her acceptance by taking genuine concern and listening receptively. He or she is a person with a particular religious beliefs, economic position, social status, and a particular caste and creed. The worker has to accept the client with all his or her strengths and weaknesses. Another important principle of social work practice is affirming individuality. To affirm a client's individuality is to recognize and appreciate the unique qualities of the client. It means to begin where the client is. Clients expect personalized understanding and undivided attention from the side of the professional social worker. Individualization requires freedom from biases and prejudices, an avoidance of labeling and stereotyping, and a recognition and appreciation of diversity and knowledge of human behavior. The principle of individualization means that every client is unique for the worker, as we know that the client is a person with a problem in his or her life. Different individuals are affected from the same problem differently. Every person has unique nature, personality traits, and peculiar life experiences, and therefore manifest diversified design of human behavior patterns. All people are unique and possess distinctive capabilities. When social workers affirm clients' individuality, they recognize and appreciate their unique qualities and individual differences. They treat clients as persons with rights and needs, rather than merely as an object or the cases or yet another appointment. Social workers who individualize clients free themselves from biases and prejudices in their provision of interventions to provide relief to the clients. They avoid labeling and stereotyping and recognize the potential of diversity. They demonstrate that clients have a right to be individual and to be treated not just as a human being, but as this human being with personal potential differences. Then another principle of social work we will discuss right now is a purposeful expression of feelings. Clients need to have opportunities to express their feelings freely to the social worker. As social workers, we must go beyond just the facts to uncover the underlying feelings and facts and causes of the problem with which the client is suffering from. Then another important, significant principle of social work is principle of non-judgmental attitude. All human beings have dignity and worth. This is the fundamental value of social work profession. It is intrinsic that all human beings must be treated with dignity and respect. It is by nature being the Ashraf al-Makhluqat. The principle of non-judgmental attitude means that social workers do not judge others as good or bad, worthy or unworthy, dignified or undignified. However, it doesn't imply that social workers do not make decisions. Rather, it implies a non-blaming attitude and behavior. Social workers do not blame the client for being incapable of solving their problems. Neither the worker blames him or her for being the cause of a particular problem. The worker remains non-judgmental. It is the way the social worker works, and that is being non-judgmental. Another significant principle which the social workers practice while providing their intervention and services to their clients is the principle of objectivity. Principle of objectivity is closely related to non-judgmentalism. Objectivity is the principle of examining situation without bias. To be objective in their observations and understanding. Avoid likes and dislikes. A victim blaming approach is avoided in social work practice. Social workers must avoid injecting personal feelings and prejudices in relationship with clients. The professional track of social work practice is used to solve the problem of the client, and the social work practitioner must be focused on the objectivity and the purpose of the welfare service he is going to render for the welfare of the client, for the solution of the client's problem. A very sensitive principle which must be used by the practitioners of social work is the principle of controlled emotional involvement. There are three components to a controlled emotional response to a client's situation, like sensitivity to expressed or unexpressed feelings, and understanding based on knowledge of human behavior, and a response guided by knowledge and purpose. The social work should not respond in a way that conveys coldness or lack of interest, while at the same time cannot over-identify with the client. Then another principle we will discuss is the principle of social determination. This principle is based on the recognition of the rights and the needs of client's freedom, client's liberty in making his or her own choices and decisions. Social workers have a responsibility to create a working relationship in which choices can be exercised by the client. Another important principle of social work is the principle of self-determination. And this principle is about the access to resources. Social workers are employed to assure that everyone has the necessary resources, services, and opportunities to pay attention to expanding choices and opportunities for the oppressed and disadvantaged, and to advocate for policy and legislative changes that improve social conditions and promote social justice. This principle of self-determination means that the worker will not impose his decisions on the client. The social worker only provides a range of alternatives, while it is the client who has to make the final choice of choosing an appropriate alternative. It is the way social work works, providing alternatives. Social worker also helps the client to develop and enhance willpower, self-confidence, and decision-making, which the client might have lost due to unfavorable circumstances and life conditions. Then another significant principle which is practiced by the professional social worker is the principle of confidentiality. Confidentiality, or the right to privacy. Social worker must not disclose the client's information, such as their identity, discussions with the professionals, professional opinion about the clients, or the records, particular specific records about the client's case. Since clients often share their sensitive, personal, material information, records with social workers. So preserving confidentiality is essential for developing trust, a key ingredient of any effective working relationship, particularly in the professional working relationship between a professional social worker and the client.